This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
I don't think it's a safe alternative, vaping. I think it's hurting people.
RTV6 brings you an Indiana man who suffered 2 major lung injuries believed to be caused by vaping. His warning to you tonight after our state sees a vape-related death.
Oh my God! Please! I'm not doing nothing!
Disturbing body camera footage shows an incident unfold involving a Muncie man and police officers. The turn in the case tonight. Good evening, I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. A rising public health crisis. Officials confirm an Indiana resident died from a severe lung injury caused by vaping last week.
Now, this is the first vaping-related death in Indiana. Tonight, RTV6's Stephanie Wade speaks with a young man who says he almost died from vaping, too. She's in Crawfordsville with a critical warning.
The state is currently investigating 30 cases of severe lung injury connected to vaping, the majority of which have been in people ages 16 to 29. A man we spoke with today says he was just 20 years old when his lungs collapsed.
I would always argue how safe it was until it took effect on me.
At one point, you could have called Kyle Lano a vaping fanatic.
I liked the clouds, the nicotine.
Vaping regularly for about 6 years until last summer.
My chest just got really tight, and then I felt a sharp pain come through my back up to my chest.
His left lung collapsed.
At this time, I didn't think vaping had anything to do with it, and I told him that, so I didn't stop.
No intention of slowing down. Just 1 year later, it happened again. His now right lung collapsed.
Now I believe it's vaping because it's the only thing I'm doing. There's no other reason why my lung should have collapsed the way it did. 30%. I lost 30% of my right lung.
6 days spent in the hospital, and though doctors can't say definitively, he's convinced his health issues are caused by vaping.
This lung illness, in some people, it's coming on really fast. They haven't had symptoms for very long before they go to the doctor, and they're in the hospital very quickly.
More than 215 cases have been reported nationally to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Severe symptoms include shortness of breath, chest pain, nausea, and abdominal pain. Because e-cigarettes are relatively new and ever-changing, marketed as a healthy alternative to smoking cigarettes with tobacco, it's tough to say what's in them or what's behind the rising public health crisis.
It's tricky for them because they are so unregulated that it's difficult to track the exact substances that are in there. But then even beyond that, people are making changes to them once they have them in their hands.
But from one young person to another.
We have our whole lives ahead of us, and we're going to end up on oxygen in our 20s, 30s.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Prosecutors have dismissed criminal charges against a Muncie man accused of resisting police and drug possession. The entire incident was captured on body cameras. It's a case Call 6 investigates, first told you about last fall. Our Kara Kenny joins us now with that shocking body camera footage and why prosecutors dropped the charges. We do warn you, the video may be hard to watch.
It's Saturday, June 9th. Muncie police are responding to an informant's tip about a man named Jesse Vernon dealing drugs. Officer Chase Hunter finds a bag thrown by Vernon, allegedly with money and drugs inside. He tells his partner to handcuff him.
Hook him up.
Officer Chase Winkle puts the handcuffs on Jesse Vernon. Officer Hunter's body camera shows what happens next. From sitting, Vernon gets to his feet. The officers struggle with Vernon, who screams repeatedly. Just seconds into the altercation, both officers' body cameras fall to the ground. The video shows mostly black.
Oh my God! Please! I'm not doing nothing!
You hear the suspect yelling, and the officers telling him to stop resisting.
Stop fighting!
The body cameras are still on the ground as you hear officers deploy a stun gun on the handcuffed suspect. More officers arrive on the scene and help shackle Vernon's legs.
Watch his mouth here to hit Hunter.
Vernon says his collarbone, several ribs, and facial bones were broken during the altercation. On September 5th of this year, Delaware County prosecutors dismissed all 4 criminal charges against Vernon, including meth and narcotic possession and resisting law enforcement. We reached out to Eric Hoffman, prosecuting attorney for Delaware County, to find out why the charges against Vernon were dismissed. He told us the defendant and another person were riding a bicycle at nighttime, and the officers observed one of the 2 persons throw a bag which ultimately contained the drugs. We are unable to prove beyond a reasonable doubt which person threw the bag. Jesse Vernon told us, "I'm just thankful that the prosecutors were honorable people and did what is right. Those officers knew what they did to me was wrong." Vernon says he's had several unsuccessful surgeries to address his injuries. "I can't work. I can't play with my son like I used to. They need to be held accountable, and I am ready to fight for making sure that happens and hopefully prevent this from happening to someone else." We reached out to Muncie Police for comment. They told us they were unaware of the charges being dismissed. Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Thanks, Kara. New today, the stepmother accused of strangling a 10-year-old Indiana girl to death is going to represent herself in her own case. 34-year-old Amanda Carmack of Gas City faces life in prison if she is convicted of murdering her stepdaughter, Skylar Carmack. After Amanda reported the girl missing and the community searched for days, investigators say Amanda confessed to strangling the girl and putting her body in a plastic bag in the shed for days.
And a new development in the fight and shooting outside an Indianapolis White Castle involving 2 Southern Indiana judges. One of those judges has pleaded guilty to battery. Clark County Circuit Court Judge Andrew Adams received a suspended sentence of 365 days in jail, meaning he will not serve any time. 6 other charges were dropped by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office as part of his plea agreement. 2 other men faced charges in that fight that happened in May in the parking lot of a White Castle near Lucas Oil Stadium.
And we are seeing a bit of a warm-up from the weekend, and right now we are looking ahead to your evening forecast.
Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joining us tonight.
Nice, quiet Monday evening. Yeah. We've got some more of those on the way, and a surge of summer temperature, so we'll get to that. Show you the radar, not because we'll need it this evening or tomorrow. We'll stay dry. We'll broaden the view, and you'll see how thunderstorms are out to the west and to the south. And if you'll notice, there's a little bit of a motion here clockwise. The reason? High pressure sits just to our east, and that's our insurance marker for a circle of sunshine and clear skies tonight and tomorrow, but also increasingly warmer temperatures will be flowing in on a southwest wind. That'll raise our temperatures, and it will also jump the humidity. We'll call it very muggy by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday. You'll notice the humidity come up a bit during the day tomorrow. Where are we now? 79 in Peru to 85 in Bloomington. Indianapolis down from the high of 84 this afternoon. Anywhere in the metro region, generally lower 80s, the wind out of the southwest. Tomorrow, 65 with a clear sky in the morning. We'll pick up a few clouds through the day, already at 82 by noon, and your afternoon high, 88 degrees.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you and your family with jobs, and we're also exploring the barriers faced by employees and companies when it comes to retaining workers.
Not only do hundreds of Hoosiers die from an overdose every year, opioid misuse has a staggering $1.5 billion direct impact on the state's annual economy. So right now, let me take you inside a statewide initiative to combat the addiction crisis from within the workplace by starting with employers. There's high demand for Hoosiers in the construction industry, and it pays well, but it can also be dangerous if workers are not alert and healthy. That's why Charles C. Brandt Construction conducts weekly drug tests before sending crews into the field.
And our goal is our employees go home every day the way that they came, and somebody that has a drug problem working next to someone that doesn't, we're putting that person that doesn't at risk. And we want to try and minimize those risks all that we can.
Jack Lautenschlager is the chief operating officer at Charles Brandt Construction. The company values its employees and wants to keep them on board and safe.
We've had people that have failed drug tests that we've worked through with counseling and gotten them back to where they're full employees now and there's no issues.
Charles Brandt and other companies have learned how to help employees through those issues thanks to opioid strategy sessions hosted by the Indiana Wellness Council and the Indiana Chamber of Commerce.
We want to make sure that employers have a specific safe space where they can ask questions, they can engage in dialogue, they can learn about things that are very unique to their conversations and their interventions. You know, if you're a family doing an intervention for an individual that you care about, you don't have to worry about the Americans with Disabilities Act, but our employers do.
At the free workshops, companies connect with local treatment providers, learn the steps to walk through those difficult conversations with employees, and learn to maintain a balance between compliance and compassion.
1 out of every 5 individuals who self-identifies as needing and desiring treatment doesn't enter into treatment because they believe it might have a negative impact on their job. But the reality is most employers are ready and able to assist.
The Chamber says focusing on addiction recovery can help maintain a healthy workforce across the state by connecting people who might be struggling with businesses that need help filling positions.
Right now, we know that over 50% of employers have had a position open for over a year that they haven't been able to fill. Also, 41% of people are unemployed and actively looking for work and looking for an employer that will provide them with support and to get into recovery. And that ability to connect to somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 19,000 people per year is something that can help an employer with the talent struggles that they're feeling right now.
It's a value instilled in the work at Charles Brandt Construction that keeps Hoosier families working.
I believe everyone makes mistakes and we all need the opportunity to get a second chance. So we're big on second chances. So we try and work hard with the employee if we know there's an issue.
And 15 more opioid strategy sessions will be held across the state this fall through early 2020. For more info about the events and to get some tools to use in your workplace, just head to hiringhoosiers.com or the RTV6 app.
RTV6 is working on a very special initiative to try to help anyone who may be struggling. Tomorrow is World Suicide Prevention Day, so we're taking part in a 2-hour Stop the Music initiative with Radio 1 Indy and the Indianapolis Recorder.
We are teaming up with mental health experts, local leaders, and survivors for the 2-hour ad and music-free discussion. You can hear that on all Radio 1 Indie stations and also on our RTV6 Facebook page from 10 a.m. to noon. And here on RTV6, we'll have resources and stories of people affected.
Places like Fishers and Noblesville are great for living, but it can be a pain to spend so much time commuting.
This major project is about to change all of that, how Hamilton County hopes to turn traffic flow on its head.
And these students are getting a grip on their artistic sides in order to see if there's a future there for their careers. How these kids are making their mark ahead in Hiring Hoosiers.
September warmth will make its mark in the 7-day planner. Fall officially arrives September 23rd, but you won't see it in the 7-day planner. Lots of sunshine around now. We'll shift our focus to an increasing chance for some rain and thunderstorms in the middle of the week. We'll do that after this.
That's why the kettle chips are so good at Meyer.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Everyone involved says it is long overdue.
A project spanning many miles in 4 years should improve traffic flow in Hamilton County.
Today marked the groundbreaking for the State Road 37 project. It will turn several Fishers intersections into roundabout interchanges, similar to Keystone Avenue and Carmel.
County leaders say some benefits are obvious, like improved north-south traffic flow, but there are other ways this will impact the way people move and live around Fishers.
You're going to be able to ride a bicycle across 37 where right now it's so dangerous. It's nearly impossible to get across with a bicycle or anything like that, or walking or running through this. You're going to be able to have that access.
And this month, construction begins at 126th and State Road 37. Crews will tackle the 146th interchange next spring. 131st and 135th Streets are next fall. And then 101st Street construction happens spring of 2021, with everything wrapping up roughly by 2022, right around the corner.
We'll see, right? Hiring Hoosiers is an RTV6 project to connect you with job skills and resources. So when you think about your favorite brands and designers, they all have logos you recognize. The J. Everett Light Career Center, students are working to make their own artwork iconic. They work on a broad range of things, including designing graphics for logos, T-shirts, advertising, and promotional items. As they build their portfolio, they will also take part in design competitions. They're using a variety of visual art techniques while learning how to use state-of-the-art computer software. Students earn college credit through Ivy Tech, saving more than $800. Instructors and students say with the knowledge and experience from this program, it sets them up for a bright future.
This is a fabulous opportunity for all of the kids at J. Everett Light Career Center to be able to have that foot ahead of all of their competition, whether it's in the job field or at college.
This will help me make money since I'll be able to sell my designs. And it definitely help for college to pay for it.
Careers in this field include graphic designer, illustrator, advertiser, and web designer. This program has guest speakers from the industry come to talk with students to help them with their career paths.
We love stories about educational opportunities, but that's not all Hiring Hoosiers does. For a look at resources for all ages in Central Indiana, head to the RTV6 app or hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin.
Well, we got a taste of it today. We hit 84 degrees. We'll go up a little bit more. The next 3 days will be our warmest. Then as we get to the end of the week, we start to fall backwards into the weekend where it'll be more comfortable. But close to 90 next 3 days, 88 tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, small chance for thunderstorms. But both Wednesday and Thursday, as the humidity climbs, may be enough of a trigger for a shower or thunderstorm. I think it is Friday, though, that's the most likely day for thunderstorms. We'll call that our transition day back to cooler temperatures and lower humidity for the weekend. Beautiful shot as you look at the walking bridge over White River from White River State Park to the Indianapolis Zoo and the Gardens. Temperatures right now in Indy 83. We've been holding steady last couple of hours. 81 right now in Tipton and Kokomo. Greencastle also in the lower 80s. Tomorrow's high temperatures, no matter where you're at, from north to south, will have a southwest wind, rising humidity, and temperatures upper 80s to potentially lower 90s, as you saw at Bedford, Seymour, Bloomington may hit 91. Then on Wednesday, the chance for thunderstorms appears. 20 to 30% chance during the heat of the day. That will influence ultimately whether we hit 88, 89, or some places hit 90 degrees. And as you see from our TrueCast model on Wednesday, not widespread activity. These will be hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. As you look at temperatures Wednesday, similar to tomorrow and Tuesday, or tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday, as the humidity starts to change a little bit. Then we get a noticeable change. Look what happens for the weekend. Temperatures around 80 on Saturday with lower humidity. Sunday's temperature at 82. 7-day forecast, a little up and down action. We're up next few days, down for the weekend, and then back into the mid 80s by the time we get to Monday. Mostly sunny and 85. Summer is not
done yet.
Over.
Felt like it a little bit, but not so fast.
Dave standing by now with sports. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, big weekend. It was certainly big at the Speedway, wrapping up the NASCAR weekend, and it settled the field of 16 for the playoffs. So final photo before the guys left town. All 16 drivers. South Bend's Ryan Newman, Clint Boyer, the final 2 drivers to qualify. Postseason for that series begins next weekend at Las Vegas. Well, good evening to you. Who's not trying to figure out the Colts here after week 1? Jacoby looked good. Defense looked okay, and then there's Adam Vinatieri, 2 missed field goals and a missed extra point. And then there's Devin Funchess, the new Colts wide receiver, lasting all of 1 game, injured in the 4th quarter when he landed hard on his left shoulder. Head coach Frank Reich confirming today has a broken clavicle. Already had a procedure on it, and he's being placed on injured reserve. But the good news, not season ending. He's expected to return at some point later this year. Funchess so banged up, he's missing his own Big Brothers Big Sisters event tonight in town. Our Brad Brown is there. That story tonight on the news at 11 o'clock. Meanwhile, at Purdue, the Boilers are dealing with their own issues. The good news here, quarterback Elijah Sindelar was named the Big Ten's Offensive Player of the Week. 509 yards, 5 touchdowns against Vanderbilt, but towards the end of the game, took a pop from the bandy linebacker, and he's being diagnosed with a concussion. Their backup is redshirt freshman Jack Plummer. They host TCU Saturday night.
He's improved. He's got some moxie to him, some athleticism. I think he's gaining confidence because he's practiced well, and you know, he has to always be ready to go. We tell him that all the time. You know, Elijah's done a very good job, but like every position, especially quarterback, they're one hit from their time being up, and they got to make sure they're ready when their number's called.
Well, the spoils of winning the Indy 500 still being realized for Simon Pagenaud today at their annual Team Penske breakfast. Pagenaud and his car owner Roger Penske given their baby Borgs. But there was a surprise for Pagenaud. Watch his reaction as he sees the base of it. Not only is there the likeness of Simon, which is on the full-size Borg-Warner trophy, but Simon's dog Norman also gets a likeness. And for Simon, there's nothing more special than that.
So it's really cool, because I have memories of Norman my whole life, and he's part of such an incredible moment of our life. And as you could see on the pictures, he was very excited. So again, Borg-Warner is just outstanding. Everything that they do for Indianapolis, for the Indianapolis 500 winner in general, is just incredible.
And to that end, Borg-Warner's CEO Fred LaSalle presenting a check donating $20,000 to Indy Humane, the Humane Society of Indianapolis, in the name of Simon Pagenaud. Very cool. Finally tonight, first and foremost from China, the FIBA World Cup continues. Team USA taking on Brazil in a huge game for the Pacers' Miles Turner. Vintage Turner jump shot off the glass and several plays in the paint as well. He had a team high 16 early this morning. Team USA won at 89-73, so they're now 5-0. Clinch a spot at next year's Summer Olympics with the W and advance to play France in the quarterfinals Wednesday morning. The Funchess Effect tonight at 11. Until then, the News at 6 continues after this.
Injured people committed to be the best. This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Well, they really are doing futuristic things up at Purdue University these days, and it's not just in the classroom.
Yeah, like a scene out of a sci-fi movie, you can now get food delivered by a robot at the tap of a phone.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting. Today was the first day at the Starship Deliveries rolled out its fleet to deliver food from any restaurant anywhere on Purdue's campus. Look at that. Through an app, you can order your food and watch on a map as the robot brings it to you so you can unlock it and get your food there. A couple hiccups there. Each robot can carry up to 20 pounds. Usually makes that trip in minutes.
Wow.
That's kind of cool. Can we get that down here?
No.
It's chumming the air behind it, too. It's leaving a scent trail.
Right.
And then more orders come in. Don't go in the fountain. Make it. There we go. All right. Temperatures upper 70s to low 80s right now. I'll let you decide whether 85 to 90 is warm for this time of the year or hot.
Up to you.
So what do you say?
Looks good.
Comfortable.
All right.
Summer.
Isn't an option.
Thanks for joining us.
Back at 7 for you.